A sanctuary, pure and holy, trial and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a sanctuary. Oh, Lord Jesus, thank you. Thank you, heaven. No niche, Nancy. Welcome into the room. I like your name. That was funny. No niche. All black baggers. Sarah, Tyler, Justin. Welcome in, guys. So I'm currently live streaming on TikTok. I'm just gonna share this for anybody who's listening because I'm live streaming, and then I'm also gonna upload this content later to the Social Progress Podcast YouTube and Spotify as well. So the reason why I'm sharing this is for anybody out there who is a content creator or an artist. Just a pro tip, if just to save time and eliminate having to create so much content on the different platforms, I go on live stream. I found that, like, first of all, I found that going on live stream helps grow your community organically. But I also found that when you live stream, you can later save the content and download it to other platforms. That way you don't have to like go on TikTok and record and go on YouTube and record, etc., etc. You can also clip small videos to post on YouTube, TikTok, and when you do that, you could also post that on YouTube, so that way you guys can promote your content and your art, etc. I started the podcast in 2020. Well, the idea sparked in 2020, and I don't think I started it. I think I created it. I believe I created it like in 2020 or 2021, but I didn't start posting content until like 2022. And I was going hard on it, doing like interviews every day or every like week, and then it became so popular really quick. I started doing like 2 times a week, but then I slowed down. Like, life stuff was happening. I was making a bunch of content on the different platforms, and it was just a lot. So I'm learning my flow and I'm learning my rhythm of it. I'm definitely encouraging myself to at least do one video one, you know, TikTok, one YouTube, etc., and just be consistent with it instead of overloading ourselves and overwhelming ourselves. I know that there's a lot of AI tech tricks and tips that a lot of the big content creators out there are promoting, but also as long as you just show up and turn on the camera and record and at least do like 1 or 2 videos a day, and stay consistent with it, like just like everything else, when you plant the seeds and water it and take care of it, like it will grow. I love that message and I appreciate that message, because sometimes we can forget to, sometimes we could believe that the work that we're doing or that the intentions that we're setting out, that it's not working in any type of way because maybe it's not going in our favor. But the thing about the Most High God in Romans chapter 8, let's look at the Bible in Romans chapter 8. And if you guys don't have a Bible, a physical Bible, you can also download a Bible on your phone. It's free. There's different apps that are free on your phone. But let's look at Romans chapter 8. The thing about God, because I didn't obviously, because I'm in my 30s, and I was raised in because I want to make sure this goes through. I'm gonna turn off the unstable connection. This may, oh Lord, make it go through. I'm gonna trust that it's gonna go through. But she was always a praying woman. Whatever she was doing, wherever she was at, she was always praying. I saw her, I mean, we prayed the rosary a lot. I grew up in the Catholic religion, so we prayed the Holy Rosary a lot. She would do it like every week or stuff like that. We went to church every Sunday type thing. I went to Sunday school. I received my Holy Communion. I didn't receive my what's the other one for like the big kids? I received my first Holy Communion. I didn't receive my whatever it is for like the high school type graduating. But yeah, she was a prayer woman, and the reason why I bring that up is because Romans chapter 8 verse 28 states that thank God, and we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose, for whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. So the reason why I bring that up is because obviously I was a kid and I went to church. I went to church and prayed, and I mean, even if we didn't pray or didn't whatever because we were kids, we just had to be present. And as I started growing up, even when I was still a child, I felt like I saw certain things and felt certain things in the church, with the pastors or people who were pushing religion that just didn't sit right with me. But as a young kid, I didn't have the confidence, or I couldn't speak to be like, question things like, why is that pastor like looking at that young boy like that? Or why is that pastor saying that like man that's dressed like a girl is not welcome here, when the Bible says like come as you are, the Bible says like all is welcome, etc. But I didn't have the confidence or the words to say that. But also, if I like spoke out to the pastor, my grandmother would have like smacked my mouth, and she had like rings on all her fingers. So not only am I going to feel the pressure of her tomorrow hand smacking me, but I will also get marked with like real gold, like big shit rings. So there was like two not only is it the pressure of the hand and the ring, but it's also the mental of like pat pat pat. Anyways, so where it says for whom he foreknew, that means that Christ knew you even before we knew ourselves. He also predestined to be conformed to the image of his son. So that means that God predestined us. And the way that my grandmother has, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his son. So that means that God predestined us. And the way that my grandmother has been saying it, so we're going to indigenize it, okay? Because we believe in Christ Jesus, but we don't believe in us. And the way that my grandmother has been saying it, so we're going to indigenize it, okay? Because we believe in Christ Jesus, but we don't believe in... Holy Spirit, bring me back. Come as you are, predestined. Okay, so you are grandma. The stars spoke to grandma. The stars Grandma, the stars spoke to Grandma. Grandma received the message, and Grandma spoke it back out from the stars through Grandma's vessels into the water, into the Hanum. Thank you. Hi, Auntie Bridget. Thank you for that gift. I appreciate. Hey, number 2 gift badger. Let's go. You guys are pumping me up when you guys. Can you guys tap the screen so that way we can get more people in here? Not even get more people in here. Can you guys tap the screen so like the algorithm can just read that I'm back on live stream and just do what it's gonna do. We're not gonna focus on like any specific details, but yeah. So Grandma, right, and then that vessel, and then that human vessel spoke to the Hanum, the water, and then Grandma let it go. Because a lot of times humans will try to dissect and analyze, like, how is this gonna happen? What is this gonna be? How is it gonna go? A lot of times humans will try to dissect and analyze, like, how is this gonna happen? What is this gonna be? How is it gonna go? When is it gonna be? La 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 la. And like, I'm hearing jinx, also F up, but also I'm hearing Grandma saying nothing F up, but also I'm hearing Grandma saying nothing can ever stop destiny. It's just also hidden. So sometimes when we don't know things, that's for our protection. It's not for our rejection. It's for our protection. Universe, the stars told Grandma that there would be a child that will come, that will be in the image of Christ. And when we say the image of Christ, religion normally says, oh, Auntie Bridget, you're in church right now, so you got to check me out on live stream whenever I come on. Just come on, because this is church right now. I'm doing the podcast. I'm going to be sharing my travel story, but I just wanted to start with the Bible first, because that's just the way it is. First, because that's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. But anyways, so Grandma knew there would be a child that would come that will end the generational curses and traumas in the bloodline. That meant any type of trauma, any type of negativity, any type of, oh, whatever's happening behind closed doors is going to stay closed doors. And that's uncomfortable for the child, because everybody is going against the child. Everybody is either jealous of the child, or everybody's trying to make the child feel like she's fucking crazy. Everybody's envious of the child, or just projecting this negative energy. She's fucking crazy. Everybody's envious of the child, or just projecting this negative energy to the child. And then we wonder why there's people who like are labeled as schizophrenic. They're just projecting this negative energy to the child. And then we wonder why there's people who like are labeled as schizophrenia, bipolar, ADHD, ADD, blah 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 blah. This is all a spiritual reflection of what's happening in the spirit. So for example, if a child is ADHD, and I'm very teach these things that decline. Oh, that's blurry. Decline. Oh, that's blurry. Decline. My father is calling. I had to decline because I'm working right now. But I mean, as I'm saying that, my grandmother's theft, like, everybody's childhood was stolen from the beginning of time. Oh my God. Childhood was stolen from the beginning of time. Oh my God. Ooh. Everybody's childhood was stolen from the beginning of time. So my grandmother's saying, like, I understand the way you feel towards your I almost said husband. I understand the way you feel towards your father. I understand how you feel towards your father, but be patient and understanding, because money, all the riches, all the resources, people that think that they have everything, there's some other. Whether it was stolen forcefully by like RAPE or drugs or substances, or whether it was money, all the riches, all the resources, people that think that they have everything, there's some other. Whether it was stolen forcefully by like RAPE or drugs or substances, or whether it let it go. God praying for your mother and father to find peace and joy and hope and really experience life, and at the same time you're still carrying their burdens of their frustration, their burdens of their anger, and etc., etc. Take that energy, do something with it, make something with it. Like I'm doing the podcast right now, so I'm taking all that energy, that frustration and that sadness and that etc., and that anger and rage, and I'm making something of it. And when I'm energy, that frustration and that sadness and that etc., and that anger and rage, and I'm making something of it, and when I'm speaking out, I'm taking all the trauma that is it stored in our body, the jaws, like he's Kaylani. Like with your system. So that way you can put it into the universe. That way the Most High God can hear you. That way the heavenly realms can hear you. That way your system. So that way you can put it into the universe. That way the Most High God can hear you. That way the heavenly realms can hear you. That way the universe, grass, the trees can do whatever you believe. Are like, okay, like, oh, she's talking to a tree. She's crazy. She's loony. What's wrong with her? Don't listen. Actually, trees have high vibration to clean and cleanse and clear. To clean and cleanse and clear the energy, like your vibrational energy on you. Like when you put your feet in the, there's a reason why man created, where's my shoes? I'm not even wearing the shoes. That's why I'm outside all day, every day, if I can, because it's scorching hot here. But when we put our feet in the grass, Mother Earth, like, God is just so precise. The way God created this world. And when we put our feet in the grass, it pulls out all the anxiety, all the depression, all the sadness, all the trauma, all the bullshit. And it just out all the anxiety, all the depression, all the sadness, all the trauma, all the bullshit. And it just puts me in, it just puts you in peace. Like, I guarantee you, I will prescribe for you to go outside and put your feet in barefoot in the grass on any dog shit or any chicken poop. Or do grandpa's like, that's vitamin E, girl, don't worry about it. Ew. It's like they say, like the carabao, the poop is like has a lot of it's good, it fertilizes the grass. They actually put that in MJ, where I'm from. They put carabao poop in the soil for the Mary J, and it fertilizes, and it just does it. It does the job. But anyways, like, it's all like a cyclical is what I'm hearing, like a just like a constant. It's like the infinity sign or the tree of life, where it's like the energies coming from the roots go up to the top of the tree, like, you know, the seasons come and like it's all beautiful and fruitful, and then it just dies and strips and is dead again, and then it goes back down and then comes back up and then goes back down and comes back up. But yeah, whoo. See, and like I always knew, like, I never got tested for ADD or ADHD. I always had this, it wasn't even a confidence, because I had the questions like, am I slow? Do I need extra time? But it was just this knowing and peace, like, that I also need meat. Whether that's fish or chicken or red meat. HD, I always knew like there was nothing wrong with me. I didn't need to take the test. I never HD. I always knew like there was nothing wrong with me. I didn't need to take the test. I never took the test. Like when I started going back to school, when I started going back from my high school in college in California, I considered taking the test, but I communicated to the counselors, and I let the counselors know, like, I don't feel like I need extra time on tests. I don't feel like I need extra assistance, but I just want to see the resources are out. Extra assistance, but I just want to see the resources are out there, because the thing with me is I just need to focus on my job. But now I'm learning is like, if you're having a hard time focusing on it, maybe it's something that your spirit is or feels like you don't need to do. Maybe about teaching people and learning through lived experiences instead of sitting down in academia. Instead of sitting down in academia, school, the traumas, the dramas, the BS, all the stuff. our ancestors didn't have the colleges, they didn't have higher education, they didn't have trigonometry and algebra and mathemology and although I acknowledge academic education, and I'm passionate about it, but I feel like maybe I'd be better to like watch a YouTube video or maybe even read a book instead of going to higher academia. Our ancestors were literally taught by using their feet and their hand and like calculating the stars and the sun and the moon and listening to the water and flowing with the seasons of nature. Ha ha ha. I like the way you teach, Grandma. She said, make her fall. I fall, I cry. She said, get back up. I said, ah, okay. Anyway. I'm going to pause there because I don't want this to go on too long and I need to move on. But that's that. There's nothing wrong with us. There was a lot of different talk on too long and I need to move on. But that's that. There's nothing wrong with us. There was a lot of different topics there. For any content creators or artists out there who has like, but that's that. There's nothing wrong with us. There was a lot of different topics there. For any content creators or artists out there who has like a need to like, I'm trying to figure out, like, you tried it, at least you did something to utilize it because it's a tool, it's a resource for our benefit. Going to the podcast section of this, I'm going to be sharing my testimony on my In Good Faith travel adventure. When I went through my spiritual awakening in 2020, I heard this like still silent voice telling me that I was going to travel the 7 lands and seas and heal the lands and seas as the lands and seas will heal me. In the beginning, I had no effing clue what that meant. I was so confused and I was so afraid and I was effing clue what that meant. I was so confused and I was so afraid and I didn't know what the fuck it meant. And it was silent, right? And then that was in 2020. And then in 2022, I started getting these little nudges to start like selling, like giving away, like selling my technology, selling my clothes, selling my hats, selling my shoes, like, and then taking all my stuff because I worked in childcare, so I had like bins of like notebooks and pens and crayons and blah, everything for the kids. And I started getting these small nudges to start letting those things go. And as I was doing that, I was in this confidence of like, I'm not even questioning it, but I just feel like my spirit is just moving me and just move. Beginning of my journey, I was still doubting. Out, I was still like ADHD, like, but out, I was still like ADHD, like, but what if this, what if that, but how is this, but and then I was sad, like, you know, but I don't have it and I don't have the money, and I don't have the resource for it. And that's what faith literally is. The Bible says, like, if you have faith of a mustard seed, you can tell this mountain to move and it shall move. Kendrick Lamar, yeah, they not like us, they not like us, me, Kendrick Lamar, yeah, they not like us, they not like us, me, you, and the crew. My grandmother was a prayer warrior. She took us to church, etc., etc. But we still had our doubts. We still had our fears. We still had our wonders of like, made you look. We still had our wonders of our fears. We still had our wonders of like, made you look. We still had our wonders. It was funny. Please stop. Jesus. We still had our wonders of like what it was gonna be. No one knows what it's gonna be, but also there's no right, there's no wrong way. There's no right. Okay, let me calm down. Let me calm down. It's not only my energy. Everybody's getting excited. Ew. Where were we at? God damn. See? ADHD my ass. That's the fucking ancestors. That's God. Okay, I didn't know what was gonna happen. Nobody knew what was gonna happen. Nobody knew what was going on. It was up to God, and it was up to everybody and their daily choices and the steps that they took on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, I packed up my shit. I like sold whatever I could. I mean, I had a bunch of, I didn't really have too much. So yeah, I packed up my shit. I like sold whatever I could. I mean, I had a bunch of, I didn't really have too much. I had a lot of technology. So at the time I was, I mean, you know, in that moment I was really interested in like a lot of like hats and clothes and shoes and shit. So I sold some of my hats, I sold some of my clothes. Jesus, Yeshua, Yahweh. I know y'all heard me like telepathically, but in case you need me to talk out loud, Jesus. God damn it, man. I wonder why she's fucking dead over there. Just fucking like no fucking energy, bro. You're fucking draining the fucking life out of us. Like no fucking energy, bro. You're fucking draining the fucking life out of us. Malik. Thank you. So yeah, I sold all my stuff. I left, and in the portion, every episode I'm talking each state that I like different activity. Each that I went. This episode I stopped at Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm sorry. My second stop was Virginia. I'm trying to remember the city that I was in, but it was Virginia. And my second stop was Virginia. I'm trying to remember the city that I was in, but it was Virginia. And it was the pandemic happened, and that all happened, and I was unknown. I was like, you know, working on believing that I was an artist, working on believing that I was a creator, having the confidence to do so off of my art, off of my creativity. And the way I was doing it was like, my grandmother was like, so I was like, how am I supposed to do this? And my grandmother just said, in good faith, period. And then I'm like, can you give me more contacts? And she's like, get in the back, period. And I'm like, what does that mean? Can you give me more contacts? And she's like, not responding to me. And she's like, in good faith, get in the back seat. In good faith, get in the back seat. In good faith, get in the back seat. And I'm like, how am I gonna pay for my hotel? Where am I gonna stay? How am I gonna eat? How am I gonna pay for transportation? How am I gonna pay for the plane? How am I gonna do this? Am I gonna be safe? Like, it wasn't, I felt like this supernatural energy. It wasn't me. It was this supernatural energy of safety, but also, am I gonna be safe? Like, it wasn't, I felt like this supernatural energy. It wasn't me. It was this supernatural energy of safety, but also, man, I need, now it's getting supernatural energy of safety. But my main concern was how I was going to travel, how I was going to eat, where I was going to stay. And somebody with the name Angel number 9 just came into the room, so that just affirms my team was like, you're angels, they got you. But in the beginning, I was still like, what? I got angels? What? I got guardian angels? What? I got archangels hovering over me, healing me right now as I'm sleeping and resting and doing nothing. And I'm over here thinking that I'm like not doing anything, but yet there's angels hovering around me doing it for me. What? That's crazy. So anyway, Fayetteville, Virginia. And so the way I did it was Fayetteville, Virginia. And so the way I did it was my team, because as humans in humanity, we want to because as humans in humanity, we want to have it all figured out. We know the details. when, we want to know who, we want to know how, we want to know why. And I resonate with that energy because I'm a very organized, like put together person, but I could also be very messy, very unorganized, very unplanned. So there's two sides of that. And as I was growing up, I thought that it should be one way or the other. But now two sides of that. And as I was growing up, I thought that it should be one way or the other. But now I'm learning, like, some days I'm gonna follow my schedule and follow my routine and regime, and some days I'm gonna go off track. Yeah, you better. She's the one that saved your fucking life. Thank you, Jesus. Heaven also did that. So yeah, the way it was like I knew 1 or 2 states and that was it, right? And then what's it called? So I met a friend through social media. She had a business called Flow, and her intention was to make a space for women like myself who went through domestic violence or who went through traumatic experiences, and she wanted to promote their art, and she also wanted to bring the culture into it. She wanted to bring spirituality into it, and she promote their art, and she also wanted to bring the culture into it. She wanted to bring spirituality into it, and she wanted to just bring the women to cities. When I first took the trip, I felt excited because this was the first time that I was actually, everybody drink some water, take a break and drink, everybody drink some water, take a break and drink some water. My friend was working a lot. I only stayed there for like 3 or 4 days. If you're in California, because it's a lot more worth it because it's slower paced. You can kind of see the different sites, and it's just slower paced. You can kind of see the different sites, and it just take the long way home. Basically, is what God's saying. There are depending on where you're going, sometimes it could be pretty pricey, like maybe $100 to $300, but it's worth it depending on your travel itinerary. So I went to Virginia. I was excited. I didn't feel any fear or doubt. I was just excited I did it. And then I was talking to my dad. I was talking to one of my friends, and I was letting them know, like, because they're like, how do you feel? Like, you're starting your travel, you're starting your journey. How does it feel for you? And I was like, I don't really feel anything right now. Like, I feel excited, I feel happy, but I don't feel anything. And my dad was like, which this is really humbling me right now, because me and my dad, you know, we're like this, but we're also like that. But then, you know, we're supposed to be like this, but we're like that, and that's okay. But so don't worry about it. Take it one day at a time. So the next day, at my friend's house, and she was at work, and she was like, you know, do whatever you want to do, blah blah blah. And I started feeling it. Like, I started getting nervous as fuck. I started getting super scared. I started like, should I go back? Is this something I should do? Just all these doubts and fears and like attack of just the unknown was hitting me. And I called my dad again, and he was like, just remember, like, you said you wanted to do this. Remember that you said this made you happy and excited, and you felt like you were supposed to do this for a really long time. So just let it breathe and just let it be. And I was like, okay. And my friend told me the same thing too. Then just let it be. And I was like, okay. And my friend told me the same thing too. And what I really want to share is I was working a lot. I go to a somatic class, a somatic dance class, and somatic basically means like you move your body however you want to, and like your energy, the trauma or just the energy in general will literally uplift your body. So if you're feeling like depression and you feel like you can't get out of the bed, but like you want to get out of the bed, even though just like do whatever, I don't fucking care. Like you don't have to do jumping jacks, you don't have to do push-ups or whatever, just like move your body gently, put music and just move to the music, or just be random and just give it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even if it's just 5 minutes getting out off the couch and stretching your body out is gonna make you feel a lot better. I mean, give it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even if it's just 5 minutes getting out off the couch and stretching your body out is gonna make you feel a lot better. I mean, if you feel like you like want to stay in the couch, then stay in the couch. But yeah, so she was like, yeah, if you can make up the money to go to a somatic class or whatever, like I want to take you out, like, you know, I want to, is gonna make you feel a lot better. I mean, if you feel like you like want to stay in the couch, then stay in the couch. But yeah, so she was like, yeah, if you can make up the money to go to a somatic class or whatever, like I want to take you out, like, you know, I want to do extra dollars and I got paid early, so we're gonna go to the somatic class. So she paid the class for me, and we extra dollars and I got paid early, so we're gonna go to the somatic class. So she paid the class for me, and when awakening, I've been working to like build and grow my confidence, and I like push myself to like go out of my comfort zone. So so we went to the somatic class, and she was like a free butterfly. My friend, her name is Bruna. Shout out to Bruna. Thank you for housing me and sheltering me at the beginning of my journey. I don't know where I would have been or slept. I would have slept Amtrak. And you also helped me save some money, so I really appreciate that. But yeah, we got to the class, and she's a free butterfly. She's like, just do whatever you want, just be free. And she was going everywhere. She was moving all around the room. She was like dancing next to people, and she was just going, and I appreciated that because she encouraged me, my confidence. And I was so shy to like dance and like move, so I just closed my eyes and my confidence. And I was so shy to like dance and like move, so I just closed my eyes and I told myself, proud of you, because even though you're scared or you're shy or afraid, you showed up and you gave yourself a chance to have a new experience, a new opportunity to get out of your comfort zone. So I closed my eyes and I just like started moving. I just like just so afraid to move, but I showed up and I was there and I was present and I was doing it. So I was closing my eyes and I was like slowly moving. I wasn't even doing all the things. I was just kind of just slowly like rocking myself, and I felt so shy and so embarrassed, but I kept going and I kept doing it. And you could tell that everybody's moving around the room and they're all confident. They're just so shy and so embarrassed, but I kept going and I kept doing it. And you could tell that everybody's moving around the room and they're all confident. They're just so used to doing it. They have the experience doing it. That's why they're doing it. So I was like, okay, let me turn the other way. And then I turned the people were like, okay, like I'm gonna turn the other way. And so yeah, we kept going, whatever, and then the dance was done, and my friend was so cool because I know that she knew that I was shy, but she didn't like say it or made me feel like she knew it. Dance was done, and my friend was so cool because I know that she knew that I was shy, but she didn't like say it or made me feel like she knew it. and she just like introduced me to her people and her friends, and it was really cool. That or made me feel like she knew it, and she just like introduced me to her people and her friends, and it was really cool. That area I really liked. I really appreciated that because the teacher was like, if you guys want to go to your own personal space, they had like a little carpet, and they're like, you guys can just go there and sit there and just do you. Or there was like snacks and drinks and stuff, and they're just telling us we could do whatever we wanted to do. If we wanted to dance and move, we could. If we didn't want to, there was a carpet right there where we could just stay right there and we could just be. So yeah, that was cool. But the reason why I bring that up was because on my journey, I had to learn confidence. I had to learn faith within myself, and I had to trust and surrender. And that made me feel like it triggered me in a positive way, but it was also emotional. I feel like when I was in high school and how I was always to myself. I was always secluded. I was always shy in school. And how I was always to myself. I was always secluded. I was always shy. I obviously had friends like in elementary. Obviously we all have friends, and we don't really like focus on, I mean, not that it's different, but back then we didn't, we just, you know, hi, what's your name, like, can I sit here, or whatever the case, right? Like, we just had that childlike faith and confidence to like do what we wanted to do. And then when I like grew up in middle school, going into earlier high school, I started like secluding myself. Like, I was often inside the teachers, my favorite teacher. I like grew up in middle school, going into earlier high school, I started like secluding myself. Like, I was often inside the teachers, my favorite teacher. And then also like, hey, like there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, it just showed me, and it made me reflect full circle of how I always secluded myself internally, but also a teaching. Like my mom, she used to tell me like, don't be loud, you're talking crazy. She still tells me up to this day like, why are you being loud or talking, saying all those words and doing this and that. And before I used to allow that to like influence me and like my confidence, but now I know that that's my mom's insecurities, that's my mom's doubt. Like, I understand where she's coming from in regards to like, oh, you got to be respectful and mindful for your neighbors and blah blah blah, but it's a free world, and like there's fucking a bush cutter going on right now, there's a truck that's on right now, there's like all these different shit that's happening right now. It's 9 o'clock in the fucking morning. Like, there's gonna be noise that's gonna be happening, bruh, right? Or like my dad would say like certain things, or just people in general, you know. And even myself, I internalized that myself, and I was like carrying this shame or this doubt or this shyness. And like, I could be shy, but it's also like, if the vibe's right, I will be me to the right, you know, space and people. So full circle moment. Is there anything else that I want to share in regards? I feel like that's pretty chill. I don't want to be on here for too long. I have other stuff to do. And let's see. That was the most important like life lesson that I learned, was to have faith. If you really feel called to do something, if you really feel like this is something you want to do, if you really feel like it brings you joy and peace and you're interested in it, but you're afraid of the unknown, you're afraid of what will happen, you're afraid of where it will go, have faith and trust and listen to yourself and take that leap. And then also with my friend and doing the somatic and all of that, we all went through a bunch of different experiences as a child, and we were all raised a specific way. But for the children, and this could be if you're an adult too, like I be saying, for the children, I'm talking to kids, but I'm also talking to adults, and I'm speaking to like the inner child in them that is lost somewhere, abandoned, like missing somewhere, right? That's just who I am. That's just who God and the heavens made me to be, and that's just how I flow as a Chamorro shaman and a healer. But that experience showed me where it's like, You see how you were interested in something, you wanted to do something, you didn't have the resource for it, but you wanted to do it. And when you decided, like, if it comes, it comes, if you know, I'm gonna find my way to do it, or trust that it, you know, it'll happen, it showed up. And you got out of your comfort zone, you got out of your insecurity, your doubt, or your fear, and you did it. So that's the message I have there. Listening, if you guys see random stuff going on, I'm live streaming right now, so the people who are gonna watch the playback, don't trip, chocolate chip. I'm on live stream right now, but I am going to like upload this onto YouTube and the other platforms. So if you guys see like snip clips of this and you want to see the full message, it's going to be on the Social Progress Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, and Anchor, whatever app you have. I know everybody has access to YouTube. That's like the main portion there. If you guys appreciate this type of content, I appreciate you guys subscribing to the my YouTube, and also like comment back in the comment section. I appreciate like communicating with the people who are engaging with my content. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys have any comments or relatable experiences specifically in regards to the travel, or whatever things that sparked up that you guys feel like you want to talk about, definitely talk back. I appreciate building the community. And on Anchor and Spotify, I also have a donation based link there, where you can subscribe to me every month, and you can pay a small fee of like 99 cents, and I believe it's up to like $4.99. But the way I did it is I didn't want to do a specific locked rate. So you can pay as little as like 99 cents a month, or up to like $4.99 or $9.99 a month, just depending on what you guys do. I just want you guys to know that everything that I'm doing is based off of my lived experiences, and it's like full-time art, full-time content creating, full-time me. So I do depend on the growth of my community and the support of my community. I'm learning to have confidence to say that and to speak that out loud. So if you guys feel, if you guys are interested, hold on, it's on pause. When you say if you guys are interested, hold on, it's on pause. When you say I'm excited about an animal, which of the, when you say I'm excited about an animal, which of these objects is a buying animal? What is a buying animal? And a sheep? That's what I'm fucking talking about. Okay, yeah, so if you guys feel like you guys appreciate the content, or you guys just want to support in general, that is a monthly subscription that you guys can pay. It is going to be taken out of your bank every month, just so you guys know, and you guys can cancel at any time. But all the supporters who like donate to it every month, that's literally like helping me with my bread and butter as a full-time artist and entrepreneur. So I greatly appreciate that support. And check out the link in my bio. It's going to link you to my Linktree, which has my TikTok, my Instagram, my YouTube. It has my In Good Faith Travel Adventure GoFundMe. If you guys want to help me out with that, that $10,000 is being utilized as a savings account to pay back some financial debt that I accumulated through the travel, which was literally for medical or emergency needs. It was I wasn't going crazy swiping my card, being reckless. It was for medical and emergency needs on my travel. So I greatly appreciate that, and that'll be used as a savings. So I will not be touching that, and I will utilize it to save for when it is ready to be utilized. Thank you guys, I appreciate you. All my links are an anthology is a group of stories in one book with 29 other women from Pacifica, and it was on bullying. There's also an LGBT story there as well, and freaks come out in the day. And yeah, everything's linked in my bio. You guys can check it all out there. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and make sure you guys come back again next week for another episode. Peace. There is power in